Hello, my name is Pauline Corry. I'm 77 years old and I have a daughter, a son, and two grandchildren, two step-grandchildren, and live in Surbiton, Surrey, England. I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2014 after 3 very trying months of, I'll use the word battling against GPs. Two GPs, in fact, backwards and forwards for the 3 months, very naive, had no idea of anything about ovarian cancer at the time. I was just getting more tired, I was getting bloated, wasn't really wanting to eat very much. And then my husband said, I think you're putting weight on. That was a bit alarming. So that's what really took me off to the GPs, because by that time I had also started to experience pain in my lower abdomen, more on the left side. But it was a case of 3 months of backwards and forwards, just being told that I had a blockage, which to a degree they were right, because I was constipated. But each time I went, I was worse. And I would just get a different type of laxative. And that's exactly just what happened for 3 months. No other form of examination or testing whatsoever. But my husband came in one day and I hadn't realised he'd arrived home and found me absolutely doubled in pain and really, really in a bad way. So that was it. We were off to A&E, and the doctor that I saw there was absolutely, her word was disgusted to think that 2 GPs could have left me in this condition with no further testings of any kind for 3 months. But she was amazing. Once I got into her hands, she didn't take a second to think twice about blood tests, which of course involved the CA-125, our main starter really, our tumour marker for ovarian cancer. So that was done. I had x-rays done, and before I knew it, I was actually in a bed in the ward in my local hospital. And later that day, I was taken down to have a CT. The following morning, the main gynecologist came to me and said they had found 2 tumours, one on my left ovary and one had wrapped itself round my bowel. And he then referred me to our super duper cancer hospital down here, the Royal Marsden at Chelsea. So I just waited a short while and went up there. But in the meantime, unfortunately, in between getting there, I collapsed and ended up back in A&E and spent a few more days in Kingston. But eventually I was in the very, very wonderful hands of the Royal Marsden. And after again a few more tests, everything was confirmed, and I was booked to go in for all the major debulking surgery. Having woken up from the major ovarian cancer surgery, I found that I had been fitted with a stoma bag, which they did say may be a possibility. And it was really quite daunting. And well, my first words were, I'm never going to cope with it. But having had a really super stoma nurse at the Royal Marsden, she got me through it, and I knew I had to do it every day. And yes, you do get problems. You do get the odd leak, which isn't really very nice. You worry, are you going to have an odor about you? But actually, that doesn't happen at all. It's no, you're no different. You're no different from that point of view. Yes, you have got the problem of having to empty it during the day, change it. I think I did mine every other day. Some people have to do it more, some people have to do it less. It takes perhaps a few goes to get the correct size stoma to fit you. I think I had about 3 different bags before we found the right one. But after that, it just becomes part of your daily routine. Having all that happened for myself after 15 months, they said I was suitable to have mine reversed, which of course was really good news for me. So went ahead, more surgery, of course, but went ahead and had that done. And then your mind has to go in a complete opposite direction. It could be quite anxious from not having to worry about your bowel whatsoever for however long, to suddenly realizing it's all back down to me again. And you don't know whether it's going to work normally straight away. Are things going to go straight back to normal? Are you going to have problems? Are you going to be in pain? And then the main thing is, of course, remembering, oh gosh, I've actually got to go and use a toilet now. I can't rely on the little friend I've had for however long you may have had that. But yeah, it's a great feeling to be rid of that little friend. I think I've come out as a stronger, more confident person, and that's been shown in what I've done with target ovarian cancer. I wouldn't have stood on a station with a bucket asking people for money prior to this. I do it now because I know how much it's needed. Yes, it has definitely made me a stronger person. And when I hold my coffee mornings, it's really hard work from about a month before getting organized. It's a really hectic day. My house is chaotic, but it's so rewarding at the end when I count up what I've made that day and I can hand that to target ovarian cancer. All the hard work, all the sweating over the cooking, etc. It's really been worthwhile. So yes, it has made me a different person, and I realise that whatever charity, but particularly this one I'm with, just how much outside help they need. Things just don't come their way. As I said, we've all got to pull together to help the charities.